Okay, today the question is, what does Paul do on his 50th birthday? Well, firstly he goes, whoopee, yeehaw, because Josh over here has got a job. Doing what?
I will be starting as a junior accountant with a accounting advisory firm called Business Nav, who do cash flow.
Wow, and he seems so excited about that, as well as studying at QUT, getting a bar licence and all of the other things, as well as passing his 100 hours on his driver's licence. Now all he's got to do is get his P plates instead of his L plates and we'll be away. And Barbie, hello, in the bucket seat as always is taking me kayaking. Yes, there it is, we're going kayaking. Not very far, just up the road to Bracken Ridge. See you there. So, here we are. The boat ramp, getting ready to chuck the kayaks in the water. Alright, we are in the water. Paddle us forward a little bit, Josh. It is a crazy boat ramp today. There's people everywhere, mainly because there's some huge surf down at the coast. And there is Her Majesty in her own little kayak over there, which is most unusual, but you'll see why a little bit later. We're on our way. Tide's about half an hour from high tide, so we're going to paddle up the river for half an hour and then we'll turn around. Now, I'm not saying that this happens all the time, because it certainly doesn't, but you know, when it's hot you kind of want a bit of shade, and if you're on the bank, obviously you sit under a nice pagoda. But for us, hey, life is good. At the end of the day, when you've got a 17-year-old who's full of muscles and needs to be training for triathlons, good on you, Don, we love you too. What the hell, sit back and enjoy it, I say. Hey, Barb. Yeah, she's loving it. She claims to have royal blood, all the way back to, who is it? The Earl of Warwick. So here she is, the Duchess of Warwick, Queen Barbie, in her own little pontoon, enjoying life. Now I am taking the Michael somewhat, because Barbie normally paddles faster than the rest of us. That's why we've hooked ourselves to her kayak so she can tow us along. Alrighty, enough funnies. Go, Josh, come on, faster, boy, faster! Well, so far, it's been a very nice paddle. We've got the wind behind us, and we've got the waves behind us. And we've got Barbie behind us as well. But the wind and the waves are certainly causing a fair bit of fun. Quite lumpy, isn't it? Quite lumpy. We're just approaching the Bracken Ridge motorway bridge. I have been over that bridge many a time in the car, but I can't say I've ever been under that bridge, but I have seen plenty of people in their boats and often thought to myself, I wonder where you get in there. So the answer is, you get in there at the, what was it, Itchney wetlands. Itchy Sands wetlands or something like that, but anyway, it sounds like counting the 1, 2, 3 in Japanese, which goes... Well, it's tea break time, so we're just stopping to have a bit of a drink and a bit of a drift, which kind of shows you that the wind and the tide are still pushing us from left to right. This is what we get to see. However, you do have to watch out for low-hanging branches, and one of the joys of modern technology is while I'm out kayaking, I can still check text. It says your NBN will be installed between 8:53 and 12:53. That's very precise, isn't it? On the 29th of February. Now, you might not think that we're moving very fast, but I assure you that I'm actually back paddling to try and keep us straight. I'm not putting any movement in at all here, and we are fairly motoring. Look at that. Pretty cool, eh? Oh, water ski up. Waves. Oh, what fun we're having here. hold on, we just got to turn back round again. Well, we've pulled off of the main river into a little lagoon, I guess. There you go. And much calmer. Just looking for somewhere to pull over and have our bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwiches for lunch. Well, much as we've found a nice little spot to get a bit of shade, which is quite nice today because it's quite warm. There's Barb over there. We're not really that fussed about it being a great spot to get out, so we might mosey on because the tide's about to drop. I would suggest he puts the paddle down. There we go. Can he get us out? Whoop. Yeah, we'll glue that one back on later. All those conservationists out there. It was dead anyway. Hey, what a great way to spend your Saturday afternoon. Peace, quiet, and a pleasant paddle. And that is just to prove that Barb actually does paddle, and does paddle quite quickly as well. Come on Josh, keep up. Well, this is the little spot that we've decided to stop for lunch. And there's Josh, because all we've seen of Josh is the back of his head. Here he is. You having fun?
Yep.
Did the umbrella work well?
Very.
Very well, definitely.
A little too well, one would say.
We were motoring. I was actually having to paddle to take some of the G-forces off of the umbrella. But worked very, very well. So nice shady little spot. Here's Barbie.
Handing out the sandwiches.
Thank you very much. Lovely. Oh, show us your new tooth, by the way, Barb, because we actually had a phone call from the dentist while we were paddling down the river, didn't we?
And there.
So, as I keep telling the dentist, Barb is not used to having roadworks done in her mouth, and she's none too chuffed. Alright, so we are on our way home. We've just stopped paddling for 2 seconds so we need to get the camera out. We have resorted to our normal configuration, Barbie up front. Josh in his little caravan, I guess, being towed behind. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. She's having real fun up there. She's getting absolutely drenched, don't you, Barbie? Whew. Okay, we've reached the sandy bit. Oh, ow, oh. And we've let all the water drain out off the back because I was sitting in about 6 inches of water. It's been a lovely day. There's the bridge. Just now, I might explain too why it is that we actually tie the back kayak to the front kayak, because the back kayak hasn't got much of a draft. In other words, it sits very shallow on the water, and when you're trying to paddle, the tide and the wind turns it sideways. So attaching it to the back of the big blue kayak, which has actually got a decent draft to it, means that it all stays a bit straighter. Well, all back, safe and sound. It was definitely a bit bumpy, but last word, as always, must go to Barbie. Quick summary of the experience, Barb?
Nice paddle, nice and quiet. Nearly lost my lunch on the way back. Don't like waves. Not a fan of waves. That kind of wave is fine. Bye bye.